Hello, John Robertson, your volunteer librarian for Oscar, back for part 3 of the review of the BC Perinatal Services antenatal record from January of 2020. We're going to look now at part 4, which is the obstetrical history. And this will allow you to fill in at least for the last 5 pregnancies. If you wish to fill in more than this, you can do this in the attachments page. Fairly simple, straightforward. There is a calendar, so you can select a date of birth for each of the children. The double arrow backwards will jump you back 1 year. The single arrow backwards will jump you back 1 month. You can click on the question mark, but that just tells you where the calendar came from. You can put the place of birth in, etc. If you double click on mode of birth, we can choose one of the following options and place it in. We can add perinatal complications. Again, if there's more than what fits in this, there is an attachments page that you can add in. You can use the drop-down menu here, and you can check the sex as male, female, other, or unknown or other. And then you can put a birth weight in grams, how long they breastfed for, and you can put the child's present health. If you double click on this, you can say alive and well. You can say termination of pregnancy. If you click on other, the other doesn't come in here and you have to type. But if you click on one of the other choices, it will come in here for you. Moving on to section 5, the present pregnancy. As I mentioned in my first introductory video, we do have underlined no buttons here, and if we click any of the no buttons, it checks off all of the boxes in this section. So section 5, if I click the underlined no, then all of these buttons would get checked off. The yes buttons, if I click on yes, then these checkboxes become active, but these will not become active. They are dependent on me checking the ART box first. So then, of course, these all become active. And similarly, these text areas don't become active until I check a box beside them. So IVF, the text box, won't become active until after I've checked off IVF. The same holds true for family history, section 6 here. Again, the underlined no will allow you to check all these negative. The positives one at a time will allow these text inputs to become active. Section 7, same idea. If we go down to cardiovascular, once we click cardiovascular, then hypertension, previous pregnancy hypertension, and other all become active. The text box beside other won't become active until I check other, and then it will. Endocrine, same idea. Mental health, again, same idea. Infectious diseases, same idea. You can put when they got their flu shot. Under immunizations, flu shot, and then a date. Moving on to section 8, again with lifestyle, check no for all of them, or check yes for the individual ones. And once again, the text areas don't become active until you've checked one of the boxes. Substance use. So this part is talking about the last 3 months before they became pregnant. And this part is talking about during pregnancy. And that follows through all the way down the whole of section 9. So again, the text box won't become active until I click yes. And once it becomes active, I can fill in the number of drinks per week that the woman was drinking for the 3 months prior to the pregnancy. And then if I check yes for during pregnancy, you'll get the number of drinks per week during pregnancy becoming active. If I uncheck the yes, you'll notice that 4+ drinks at one time here, the no and yes is no longer active. So this yes has to be checked before you can access these boxes. Same thing here. And then if they quit alcohol, you can click yes and put in a date. Now the same holds true for tobacco. We talk about 3 months before the pregnancy and during the pregnancy. And then for secondhand smoke, again, were they exposed to it for the 3 months before the pregnancy or during the pregnancy. Cannabis. So cannabis, again, we can't see the top of the screen here, but again, this is 3 months before, and then this would be during pregnancy. And then once we click yes here, then these buttons become active, and then number of uses per day, and then route would also become active. Others during pregnancy, so all of these other potential uses won't become active until I click yes. And again, the text beside others won't become active until I click yes. Moving to section 10, we can put the initial physical examination date. We can choose that in our calendar and put the name of the person that did the physical exam. These areas of input are all purple, which means they are active. And in this particular case, they will pull data from the patient's chart for you if you so desire. If we double click on blood pressure, it will show us blood pressures that we've recorded on the patient's chart, and we can pick whichever one we want. The newest is at the bottom of the page. We can click on that and click on OK, and that will then fill in the blood pressure. Same thing is true for the heart rate. Same thing is true for the height. Same thing is true for the weight. The BMI will also pull from the chart if you wish, or if you've put a new height and a new weight in here, you can then double click and it will calculate that for you. Again, like the yes and no above, if we click norm for normal, it will check all of the boxes here. If we check norm for normal here, it will check all of the boxes here. And as per previous, the boxes that are shaded won't become active until the previous box is checked, and the text inputs that are shaded won't become active until the previous checkbox is checked. If we go to 11, we can then fill in the rest of our comments, fill in a care provider name and a designation, and then we would be done the first page. In part 4, we'll move on to the second page and review what we fill out on that page and how that is going to affect the first page as well.